With what started as a YSL Rico case involving Young Thug and 28 members of YSL has now led into rappers such as Lil Baby, Future, and Playboi Carti now being involved, as the snitches among YSL are mentioning some very serious names. Just to understand how it starts, here's court footage revealing some YSL snitches.
He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's king slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime, because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will them and their family. And they were very clear about that.
Concerns that this court has is danger to persons and to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So and for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
As mentioned by prosecutors during that court hearing, there is members of YSL creating what's called a proffer deal with the feds. In other words, YSL members snitching on Young Thug and other rappers in exchange for a lesser prison sentence. The snitches also mentioned, and I quote, "Young Thug is a very dangerous man. If you cross him, he will get you and your family." As paperwork was released stating, the Fulton County District Attorney says YSL team members are going after the life of a witness and their family in the criminal case against rapper Young Thug and the 27 other alleged team members. It goes on saying, Willis's office has discovered a document and part of a cooperating witness's statement that was posted on social media. The life of that witness, a cooperating YSL associate, otherwise known as a snitch, and that witness's family are in jeopardy as a result. Willis says authorities are still investigating who leaked the discovery material. A new indictment last week added new charges against Williams and a handful of other defendants in the case. The man snitching is allegedly known as Lil Woody, as Lil Woody is the man that demanded safety for his family after he started snitching on Young Thug. Lil Woody didn't only snitch on Young Thug. Allegedly, Lil Woody also snitched on Lil Baby, as well as other members of YSL. Also, new paperwork alleging Playboi Carti and Future's name was brought up, as DJ Academics reported that Lil Baby, as well as other members of 4PF, are next on the Atlanta DA's Rico list, as paperwork was leaked in the Atlanta DA's office revealing Lil Baby's name. Here's the Atlanta DA speaking about it.
An in-depth investigation. Recent months, you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There are going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
Now, Lil Baby isn't the only rapper snitched on in this case either, as a tweet was released stating, "The team called Home is connected to Playboi Carti and related to Future, a big name. They've had an ongoing rivalry with another team, that is 2 sets of the same team going at one another. There's a trail of past and jailed rappers all throughout this beef." Followed by, "The DA's office confirmed to me on Friday that Home is one of several street teams on a road to a racketeering charge. I'll be writing about that soon, but the state of the jail is at least as important." Now, what we are witnessing right now could be a complete takeover of the rap industry based out in Atlanta, as this got reactions from Atlanta rapper Lil Baby outside of an airport.
How you doing, Lil Baby? Lil Baby. Lil Baby, how's Young and Young Thug doing? I know all the circumstances. Just want to see how they're holding up good? Sure. All right. Love what you're doing, man.
With Young Thug's YSL members snitching on even more rappers, we are thankfully seeing great things happen for Gunna, but sadly worse things happening for Young Thug. Now, with Gunna being found innocent from the charges against him in the YSL Rico case, things got worse for the YSL Kingpin. Here's the new list of Young Thug charges as documented at the recent hearing. Young Thug is now being charged with team involvement charges, narcotic charges, possession of firearm charges, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony charge, possession of a fully auto firearm, 3 separate charges of unlawful for person employed by or associated with criminal street activity. Then to end it off, Young Thug's being charged with the Racketeer Influence in Corrupt Organizations Act, otherwise known as the Rico charge. Now, on September 29th, Young Thug's updated charges were highlighted by the prosecutors after it was announced new documents of Gunna being dropped from any street-related acts in the original indictment and has now been named by 0 witnesses. Gunna's been locked up for 140 days and has a 3rd attempt at bond very soon. Online lawyers already claim Gunna has a 98% chance at receiving bond. Meanwhile, Young Thug is trying to get any help that he can, as during this court hearing, a very concerning piece of evidence was found inside of the YSL mansion. In the end, if found guilty, this will add years to Young Thug's sentence. As the evidence report states, in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia, do charge and accuse Duke, Yak Gotti, and Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, with the offense of possession of a firearm for the said accused in the state of Georgia and the county of Fulton on the 9th day of May 2022, did unlawfully possess a firearm with a converter switch and extended mags. Now, what's known as a switch in many rappers' lyrics nowadays is a mod that you can attach to a single fire firearm to make it fully auto, which in the United States is highly illegal, yet these items are being obtained by people living the street life very easily, as inside of the YSL mansion was these exact items. Although, it will be very hard to tell if these are owned by Young Thug, as these items were found during the Young Thug mansion raid. However, here's where it gets even more concerning for Young Thug. As it was announced Gunna's charges are being dropped, and that he has a very high chance at receiving bond, Young Thug's lawyer then argued for him to be released as well. But prosecutors were allegedly ready and waiting for this to happen, as this is when prosecutors ruined all chances of Young Thug being released on bond. Now, the prosecutors outlined to the judge a tweet that was sent out on Young Thug's Twitter account. This tweet states, "I'm talking to my roommate and we're wondering if you could swim 100 miles from the middle of the ocean back to shore at Michael Phelps." Now, what seems to be like a very innocent tweet sent out by Young Thug's manager on his own request ended up turning very ugly in the courtroom, as prosecutors allege that Young Thug is sending out these tweets and sending secretive messages to his family and friends back home, as this was Young Thug's lawyer defending him in the courtroom about the matter.
Williams is in a jail outside of Fulton County. There are 0 cell phones in that jail.
That last tweet that was sent out to Michael Phelps is recorded. It's been investigated by the sheriff of that county, and it was a conversation that's recorded between Mr. Williams and a member of his close friendships, that he asked the other person who has control of his Twitter account. That is not a reason to...
Well, this is part of the conversation, Mr. Steele, and you and others are going to need to have with your clients, because this is part of the state's concern. I mean...
That was an innocent... That's nothing bad. Asking somebody to tweet to Michael Phelps, "Can you swim 100 miles in the ocean?" That has nothing to do with intimidation. So I'd ask you to read.
Well, if I can communicate through a family member or somebody else, then I can communicate something else.
Everything okay over there?
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, your family was concerned that something was going on. You're fine, right?
Yes, I'm great.
Okay, cool.
Now, at the end of the court hearing, Young Thug's lawyers asked him if he's feeling okay. This was a big relief to many Young Thug fans out in the public, as they are all worried about Young Thug. However, Young Thug using social media has been an issue for the prosecution ever since the case began, as this is not the first tweet they mentioned in the courtroom that they have a problem with. They're making it a huge deal in the courtroom, as when the prosecution in the Young Thug Rico case announced they had proffer deals from YSL members, No Jumper reported a YSL member was caught on an illegal cell phone trying to get someone on the outside to destroy evidence in the case, which gives people the thought and the feelings that these tweets or that Young Thug is sending out has some sort of secretive code that only YSL members would know. Now let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. It's been District Trending and I'm out. Peace.